won't be aware of that, however. Magnus and Nakamura
both lose in the same round again. Meanwhile, Magnus didn't go for the repetition. He didn't go for the draw, just keeping the tension. 30 seconds against 1 minute, though. You've got to say Black's position looking good yet again. He stabilized. Madaminov, it was great for him in the opening. A few patchy moves here and there, but he's looking strong again. And Magnus, Lawrence, he's just too slow. He's got to speed up. He's already lost some time once today.
He's had a bit of a brain freeze here, Magnus. This is quite unbelievable because it just doesn't tend to happen with Magnus. And Madaminov, fair play to him. Magnus really down on the clock. And there's been there might be a full trade here. Magnus might have gotten lucky, but is he still slightly worse? Possibly. B2 pawn's going to have rook c7, rook d2, for example. Yeah. Or rook d1 check and rook d2, much better. Or rook d7.
Ooh, a bit of negativity there from the youngster. He could have at least drawn if he'd played rook d2, kept the rooks on the board. Suddenly, you're trading off when White's king is actually closer to the center than Black's. It doesn't look that way, but White's king has a clear path in on the dark squares. Black's king has been caged by Magnus's last few moves. Should still be a draw, of course, but can he hold his nerve, Madaminov? I think he's done a good job there, centralizing his king. And okay, Magnus has to take a step back. Lawrence, this surely is headed towards a draw now. Big shock and a great result for Madaminov.
Should be a draw, but Magnus still only with 10 seconds. Can Madaminov do something completely unexpected? The answer is probably not. Magnus managing to stabilize now. Madaminov putting all of his pawns on light squares. Don't know about that.
Yeah.
Very committal.
What to say?
Very committal.
That shows nerves, Madaminov. Yes, he's found a good home for the Black Bishop, but his pawns are targets long term. Look out for Magnus working that endgame magic yet again. Look at this. He's trying to zugzwang Black. He's trying to say, okay, you're frozen. Those black pawns now not on the right color complex. And Magnus is coming across with his king. Suddenly, all three results possible. And I do think Madaminov needs to start exchanging, needs to start swapping off pawns as quickly as possible. Maybe the pawn to b4, push, trade off. Madaminov
b6.
Defensive now. Ooh, he's been forced to take a step back. White's king dominates now. Zugzwang is coming, Lawrence. Suddenly the Black Bishop is totally frozen. Magnus, if he grinds this one out, I mean, what a turn that would be. A decisive, potentially, moment in the tournament. Yeah, he's just put his pawns on light squares. Don't put the pawns on the same color as your bishop. This was an easy draw, at least, for Madaminov. But now, suddenly, he's on the back foot. And we see the evaluation bar slightly reacting. Still not significant. Still should be a draw. But, yeah, the white pawns can never be touched. They are happily on dark squares. Endgame grind, endgame magic from Magnus Carlsen, maybe. And he starting the race.
Wow.
Okay, he's going after the black pawns. Who is leading in this race? Madaminov has lost control, though, looking nervous. On the clock, it's level again. And Black's pawns have... Ooh, Magnus dropping pieces as well. Black's pawns have fallen. Those two white pawns, the A and B pawns, surely going to decide this game. This is where experience plays a factor, right, Lawrence?
Oh, bishop e3, class move there by Magnus as well. Madaminov hitting the pawn in frustration. What an unfortunate turn of events. Madaminov is going to lose this game. Carlsen way too fast here. And the king can even come over f4. That's a lovely move.
Yeah, and we see the handshake, and Magnus takes the win. We